We're ready to break it all down and show you the entire wholesaling real estate process, part-time, getting started. Let's get into it. Let's kind of have a conversation about this and break down how to make $100K a year part-time. Here's my action plan for wholesaling real estate, getting started part-time for success. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's sort of break this all down. So what we're going to basically break down today is how to make $100,000 a year part-time. I'm going to break down exactly the best methods and basically an action plan on how to make $100,000 this year wholesaling houses part-time. So what is part-time wholesaling? Now, that's the first thing we have to kind of break down today. But like, what is part-time? In my opinion, I feel like part-time wholesaling is between 5 to 10 hours a week. Technically, it can be 20 hours a week if you really want to get in the nitty-gritty of it. But I would say 5 to 10 more or less is wholesaling part-time. So 5 to 10, I think is a pretty good breakdown of it, right? So 5 to 10 hours. Now, it can be 5 to 20, right? One thing I do want to say to you guys starting out is you can 100% make six figures this year, like in 6 months, right? Wholesaling houses part-time. In under 6 months, you can make six figures wholesaling part-time. The truth is it's going to take some work. I've never said this is an extremely easy process. I've never claimed that once, but it is a process that does take work. But if you're willing to go out here and take the action, you're going to do fine. Like you're going to do very, very well. The truth is most wholesalers aren't willing to take that action. And that is going to cause a lot of demise for their success. So the one thing I can tell you starting out is you have to be able to make a commitment to take action and be consistent. Consistent action is always going to lead to your success in wholesaling real estate. The people that do not take consistent action are just not going to be successful. So we're going to break down exactly right now everything you need to know about this. So I'm excited. Let's see. We're going to break down, first of all, like what's the actual steps, how much time you should be putting into it. Even if you can only give me 5 hours a week, honestly, you can always make time for it. So we're going to break it all down right now. So the first question is, how many deals do you need to do $100,000? This is basically my mini course, right? Like it all comes down to doing $100,000 is basically 10 deals. So if you're doing 10 deals a year at average 10,000 assignment each deal, that's $100,000. And when you really look at it, that's less than one a month. That's honestly less than one real estate wholesaling deal a month you have to do. It's really not that complicated because all you have to do is do less than one deal per month. That's it. So again, you can 100% make six figures this year by just doing less than one deal per month. It's like everyone thinks it's like this crazy confusing process. And the truth is it is not. It's actually a very, very easy, simple process. It is not complicated. Doing less than one deal a month, 10 deals a year. That's it. If you just take consistent action on this, you're going to do fine. But really a lot of wholesaling gurus, schmooroos, whatever you want to call them, they try to complicate this process so you can buy their simple course that simplifies everything. And the truth is I'm just giving you what's inside those courses, actually even better. What I actually do is I break down the process in simplistic terms that makes it really easy for you to know exactly how to get going, how to take action, and what to do. It's like, how do you get strong? You lift weights. I show you what to do. Like really, it's not like this crazy complicated process. A lot of people are like, what's the complicated? How do I run a mile in under 15 minutes? Like just walk and just keep walking and walk a little faster every day and get 1% faster. You're going to be fine. A lot of people really overcomplicate this. And that's really what I want to do is simplify this business for part-time wholesalers and just show you. So the one thing I can tell you right now, I do want you guys to understand this. This is a very important quote. Consistent results require consistent action. So if you're asking yourself right now, Zach, I'm not being consistent in my business. I'm not getting consistent deals every month. And someone always asks me like, Zach, how do I get consistent deals every month? Zach, you consistently get deals. How can I get consistent deals? The answer to that question is, how much marketing have you done? That's always the answer, right? Like I can always tell when someone comes up to me and says, I'm not doing consistent deals. Well, you're not taking consistent action. So if you want results that are consistent, your action is going to have to be consistent also. This is why I can always tell somebody that has cold call a lot versus people that do not know how to cold call. How you're good at cold calling, you don't you're not an expert cold calling straight out. You have to have that experience, which means you took consistent action, you got that experience, and then your results were consistently well. So this is what you have to understand is consistent results equal consistent action. And this is a very important quote. Same thing, just flipped over. Inconsistent results require inconsistent action. So let's say this one last time. If you are very inconsistent with the money you're making in wholesaling, it's because you're very consistent with the action you're taking. You're inconsistent in marketing, you're inconsistently text blasting, you're inconsistently pulling cash buyers, you're inconsistently following up, and that's going to give you inconsistent results. That like when you show up every day and you do the work, the results just show up. And that's because you get very, very good at what you're doing. That's with anything. I don't know one guy. I know a lot of people that play Call of Duty that have been playing Call of Duty since middle school that still play it right now. And they put a lot of, they're all good because they put the hours in. Have you ever met a 13-year-old boy who's really good at Fortnite that destroys your butt? I have. Because he consistently plays the game and he consistently does well. Wholesaling is a game and I consistently play it. So I consistently do well. Like you ever pull up to a basketball court and you got this one guy's always there and he's destroying everybody because he's consistently there. It's so easy to tell the people that put in the work in this and the people that don't. It's different between the amateurs and the professionals, honestly. And there's people that have studied wholesaling, but they still get inconsistent results because they study it. They're not taking the action. They're just studying it. And so what do I mean by these two sentences? Inconsistent results equal inconsistent action. Consistent results require consistent action. Did I say consistent studying of wholesaling or learning about wholesaling? No, consistent action. Action is going to be more important than any of the videos you watch here. And yes, what I could tell you is it's a little complicated, like more or less, but like you have to know what to do, right? Like if I try to play football and I don't know the rules of football, eventually I'll figure it out by just playing with people or just like talking, but like, it'd be nice to get some of the rules or what to do. Right. And that's the point of the channel, right? Like the point of this channel is to give you the game plan of what to do. And I can give you the plays, but you gotta go run the play, right? That's the thing. You know, I could tell you what to do. I can give you a recipe. And that's basically what I do. I give you the recipe. You have to bake it though, right? If I tell you got to put 4 eggs with the batter, you got to get it. And if you put 2 eggs in there and it tastes terrible, it's up to you because the recipe's right there. You can't mess up a recipe. Like when I make Kraft mac and cheese, I can't mess it up. I measure the milk. I put it in there. I'll measure the water. I measure the cheese they have for me. Like it's impossible for a big dummy like me to mess that up. Now, some recipes are complicated. Like a quiche. I tried to make a quiche last week. My sister was trying to help me make a quiche. I didn't know what I was so confused, right? Like I don't have the tool. Like that's complicated, right? Like the cool part about wholesaling is it's like those recipes. You can make it really complicated. And for a lot of things, like there's different recipes for people that aren't experienced at cooking, right? Like I can make a banger cereal because I know the ratio of, I literally know a ratio of milk to cereal. That is reverse trying for dollars. Like you look for ugly house, you put sticky note with what I say on it, and then boom, it's easy. Now, when it comes to cold calling, it's a little different, right? Like there's a little more recipe to that. The experience is, but if I try to make that quiche like every single day for the rest of my life, I'm gonna be really, really good at it because I might fail starting out, but I'll get better and better and better at it. You know, it's just what it all boils down to. Okay. I can make really good ribs. Just FYI for everyone, I can make really good ribs. I sucked at making ribs starting out. You know why? Because I've been constantly doing it at my house, learning. And that's the point. You know, grilling steak, all this stuff, you know, like it all comes down to the action and experience. You ever find anybody in life that's good at something? They put in the work. Okay. That is one thing I'm telling you about wholesaling real estate. And I know this is a mindset thing really quick. We're going to get to the action plan. I'm going to give you the recipe for success. But just think about it for a second. Have you ever found somebody that's really good at something that has not put in the work in? There's few exceptions, obviously. The world's tallest man kind of showed up like that, right? But like you look at elite level gymnasts, you look at elite athletes, you look at grandmaster tennis people, chess players, You look at the best of the best at everything, right? The smartest scientists in the world, they all put in the work. The best doctors, they all like life and wholesaling. It's the same thing to a point. The most elite people in anything have to put in the work, and it is not an exception for wholesaling real estate. So if you're looking to get in this part-time, you still got to put in the work to be successful. That is one thing I tell you before you get into the action plan. I can give you this action plan right now. If I tell you to put 4 eggs in the thing and mix it with this thing, and you put 2 eggs, 1 egg, it's going to fail. And you're going to say, Zach, I don't want to use eggs. It's in the recipe. You can't get out of that, okay? So if you want to drive for dollars, the recipe is go in your car, look for ugly-looking houses in areas that are under the median home price in the area. That is it. There's no which way around that, okay? When I tell you to SMS text blast and you don't use my script and you fail, the truth is because you're not following the recipe. Follow the recipe, guys. That's how you become successful. And I'm about to give you the recipe right now. The reason I'm giving you this pep talk before I give you the actual results is you cannot deviate from it. Once you do, you're going to fail. It drives me crazy. And that's what I could say. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. My Zach's rant is over for the day. Okay. So how do you spend your time? There's 2 part-times. I've said this, I think a couple weeks ago. There's part-time and part-time wholesaling, right? Part-time is basically 5 hours a week of wholesaling real estate. It's not a lot, but if you're in part-time mode, this is basically what we're going to do, okay? So part-time wholesaling real estate is basically 2 hours dedicating a week to list polling, 2 hours into your marketing, and then 1 hour for sellers and cash buyers and follow-up. Not a lot, but when I really break down everything here, when I really break down it all, you only got 5 hours, which that's for the smallest part of part-time wholesalers. It still works. The 2-to-1 ratio, that's the best ratio, okay? That's my ratio for the perfect whatever recipe you want, right? That's the ratio for success. You can do which way you want, but that's the ratio, right? So that is how I telling you to split up your day when you only have about 5 hours more or less. So let's sort of break this down if you need the action plan. So let's kind of break down the action plan, okay? So basically 5 hours or less a week. I would say you got a couple days for wholesaling right now. I'm assuming you have a full-time job. You got a couple kids. You're married. You got to spend time with your family. You might have older grandparents you got to see every week and help them out. You're a very, very busy person. I get it. Life happens. You just got to make time for it, right? So this is what more or less you're going to see, right? 10 to 12 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Honestly, on a Saturday, I would say the best results is going to be drawing for dollars and or reverse drawing for dollars. I recommend if you're local in-person reverse drawing for dollars. If you are virtual, I would say just pull government lists from 10 to 12. If you really want to, code violations, water shutoffs, fire damage properties, pre-foreclosures, the arrest record list. This is all stuff on the bottom right here at freewholesaling.com. You can actually start pulling these lists right now. Remember, guys, freewholesaling.com. Now, 5 to 7 p.m., this is going to be Monday, I would say, or maybe a Sunday if you have to, a Saturday evening. There's 2 times. I always tell everybody, there's 2 best times to cold call. The best time to cold call is from 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. And the second best time to cold call is whenever you can, okay? Whenever you can is the second best time to cold call. The best time to cold call is 2 to 7 p.m., whatever local time you're at. So if I am in Florida and I'm cold calling California, theoretically that will be 11. Be 2 to be that would be 5 to. Oh God, you guys are really enjoying me struggling on the math here. 5 to 12, right? 5 to 12, my time in Florida for California, because you just got to understand it's whatever local time it is with that person. If I'm cold calling the Philippines, it'll be a 13-hour time difference, right? It'll be 2 a.m. to 7 a.m. more or less over there if it's 12-hour difference, right? Just understand that would be the best time for cold calling. I would say most people starting out cold calling. The reason why I love cold calling, FYI, guys, is because you can gain that experience talking to sellers. You actually are getting better. You're putting the experience in the reps. And you're actually talking to sellers. So that's really good. I would say the best one is if you're doing virtual. I would do 10 to 12 polling and then code calling. And then I would add in some Zillow for sale by owners in there in the local market, the virtual market you're doing. They're working really, really well. If you're a beginner, it's really good to get that experience. 2 to 3 p.m., spend that on seller appointments, calls the next Saturday. I think that'll give you really good results. That's for my part-time action plan. Now, if you're doing a little more part-time, so this is part-time. I don't know why I have an extra part in here, but whatever. So this is what I do. If you have 10 hours, I would double this for 20 hours, but 4 hours for polling, list polling, 4 hours for marketing, 2 for seller. It's pretty much the same ratio. We're just doubling it up because that's really the perfect ratio. So if you're doing a part-time, this will be my action plan for 10 hours, right? I would say 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Take that on a weekend, drive for dollars from reverse drawing for dollars. Just boop, boop, boop. Like I'm letting you guys know, like if you're seeing like a little sign here, I'm talking about drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars. Very importantly here, if you can reverse drive for dollars, a code violation list, a water shutoff list, a fire damage property, if it's salvageable, though pre-foreclosures, if you can do that, I'm telling you, do it, because there's a very interesting law. It's the law of proximity, or quote unquote, I don't know if it's trademarked, the proximity principle people talk about all the time, where if you are around successful people, more or less your mindset shifts and you are successful. That's one law, but that's not what I'm talking about. The proximity principle also works with bad people. So if you're hanging around the wrong crowd, you're most likely going to do the wrong things. That's just, it's pretty much a fact. Now, wholesaling deals are the same way. If I'm around a really ugly looking house, most likely there's other real estate wholesaling ugly looking houses around that area. So if I go to a nasty pre-foreclosure in a good market, there's probably other houses like that, like a street or two over. So that's why I'm saying reverse try for dollars on government lists, put the sticky note on there and do it. Do not cold call the reverse try for dollars. You just do the sticky note. That's it. That's the point. You save actually a ton of time and money doing it. It works so well. I've been telling everyone to do it. So a lot of people don't listen to me, but people like Fernando right here, he listens, right? I did reverse trying for dollars on a pre-foreclosure and I got 5 people who are looking to sell. Right? Like it's crazy because every guru doesn't talk about this. This is like doing direct mail, add drawing for dollars, and then add an insane cold calling, and then it's just really quick and easy. This stuff works. No other guru talks about this. No other real estate coach talks about this because they're not creative. They don't know how to think. They don't know how to market. They don't wholesale anymore. They're all shams. They spend all day coaching you guys. They actually don't run a real business. I do. There's business for real. I know it works. That's what I'm telling you. Guys, when you hear Gary Vee tell you something, like go on, do this platform or do this stuff, and he's usually right. He's predicted like 4 or 5 things, and he's always been right on it. I'll give a shout out to him. It's like me. Like when I tell you like this is working and I'm finding a very good arbitrage of success with a list, you guys got to be going after it because the most wholesalers in this industry don't follow me. They don't subscribe. They're actually not watching this live right now. Most wholesalers actually aren't watching me or Rick. They never even heard of us. So if you're one of the lucky and few people to listen to me, giving free advice to you, you're going to have a big advantage. I would say 10% of wholesalers maybe even know who I am. That means only at best 10% of wholesalers in your market are doing the strategies I say, which means you're going to crush the 90%. That's insane. Most wholesalers have big egos. And so when they hear new advice, they don't actually, I'm not doing that. Going to let the youngins do it, be successful, and then they go into it. That's what happened SMS text blasting for me. Every big wholesaler in my market didn't do SMS text blasting. That's a young thing. That's a new thing. We're going to do that. I did it, crushed it. Then they started doing it. People are going to start reverse trying for dollars a lot more in the future because they're going to see young guys and gals like you guys watching, or people are beginners or people that are just doing it, being successful with it. And then they're just going to hop on the trend. You guys are probably 6 to 12 months early on reverse trying for dollars. And I'm giving everybody right now, the key to doing it. If you want to learn how, it's at freewholesaling.com. Some guru's going to make a course on it. What am I going to do? They're going to call it the John method. There's going to be a guy named John or Sam, and they're going to call it the Sam method or the Johnson method. And then they're going to call it that and make it. And then they're going to think it's my own thing. And they're going to try to sue me. Honestly, that's what the gurus do. But I'm just telling you, the reason why I say it on here so everyone does this, when a guru makes a course on it, I have proof that I told everyone to go pull this list. So that's why I always tell everyone. But that's what I'm doing in my business. It works really well. I definitely recommend you guys do that. You do some more cold calling. If you do reverse drawing for dollars, I would probably cold call Zillow for sale by owners. I would be cold calling probates. I would be doing some SMS text blasting if I can. You got a 5 to 10. You got a lot of marketing to do. You can, if you are part-time. I'm working on a video right now. I think a lot of people are really going to like on this channel of on the Zakin YouTube channel of how to wholesale real estate without cold calling. I know everyone's like, how do I wholesale without cold calling? I kind of broke it down, but like for a lot of the cool part about cold calling, why a lot of people don't like cold calling is because it takes time. So a lot of these strategies actually work really good for the part-time wholesaling. So I sort of explained in that video, bandit signs are really good. Text blasting is really good. Reverse drawing for dollars, probate mailers. Like you can also add these in if you are part-time, you don't have a lot of time on your hands. It's going to work really well for you guys. So I'm always telling people like doing that, 10 to 5, 2 to 4 seller appointments. I think it's going to be pretty good. But yeah, that's what I could say from here. Now, what are some alternate options for you? So I kind of mentioned this again: government lists, cold calling them, probates, water shutoffs, fire damage properties, code violations, tax liens, IRS debt lien lists, credit card debt lien lists. Got probates. Like, I'm a broken record with the stuff. Okay, I think everyone in the comments can know that I have screamed about government lists. I've screamed about reverse drawing for dollars as much as I can. I'm going to keep telling everyone to do it, but like, if you're not doing it now and you've been watching my stuff consistently, you are doing yourself a disservice and you are just impeding your own success. Like you're getting in your own way of being successful. Just FYI for everyone watching this, like you are destroying your own success. You are setting yourself up for failure for not doing this. I'm just like, unless you are so filled up with leads, all right, like unless you're like some of these guys in the comments that are doing hundreds of thousands a month following us, and you have so many leads that you can't do this tact, sure, right? But I'll say, so government lists, cold calling them, reverse drawing for dollars, bandit signs, the We Buy Ugly Houses signs. I tell everybody, test bandit signs out. I would say 20% of markets, and that is very generous. Bandit signs are going to work in 20% of markets. So if you go to LA, Inland Empire, it's probably not going to work. But if you're in like Houston, like a suburb of Houston, you're kind of in northern Florida, like Panhandle, like bandit signs can work. Some markets work really well with them. Some aren't. Some are illegal. Some aren't. You have to do your research on it. But like I was in one of those 20% where it did work, and I made 100K 17 doing it. So like, it's all a chance. But I would tell people to just test it out. Like I see Sean's in the chat below, like he's in San Diego, like probably not going to work too well there. But like, if you're in like, the Southeast, like Alabama, Birmingham, something like that's a really good bandit sign market. I definitely telling most people, test it out. That's one thing. So it says we're having a mic problem on here. So let me test it out. Shouldn't be a mic problem. Maybe I'm screaming too much on this, but let's test it out. Oh, yeah, I see it. I see what you're saying. Let me go test one thing out. All right, we're gonna check one thing out really quick. Let me do this. This might take like 1 second. Hold up. All right, I think it's fixed. Let me know if that's fixed or not. Sometimes the mic does that. I legit don't know why. I got to reset it. So let me test it one more time. I hate when that happens, but appreciate you guys. Guys, in the comments, just tell me if the mic's. Yeah, see, now it's working. So, it happens all the time. So give a shout out to D-Wank. Sometimes there's that little clipping thing. Sorry, guys, for that. But yeah, so let's kind of get in just let me know in the comments because it takes 5 seconds to fix. I tested before the live and it was working. So whatever. So yeah, bandit signs, probate letters. So I would probably do probate letters. I think probate letters are actually really good right now. They're still pretty cheap. We have it all at freewholesaling.com. It all works really good. SMS text blasting is another really good tactic. I would tell you, love SMS text blasting. So SMS text blasting, basically just text out a list, right? We teach you exactly how to do it at freewholesaling.com. So go there and you can learn exactly how to do it. So those are your alternate options for part-time wholesaling. The truth is, when you're starting out as a beginner in wholesaling real estate, the options you have are a little more limited because you don't have the time. The point is to be very effective with your time. That's why I'm telling a lot of people to do drawing for dollars and reverse drawing for dollars, because it takes time to pull a list. It takes time to skip trace a list. So if you can do it, if you can actively market while doing it, kind of doing a two for one, you're going to be a lot more successful. That's honestly what I've seen for wholesalers starting out. The people that just take that action. And remember what I said, consistent results equal consistent action. So if you consistently put in, I'd rather you do 5 hours a week for a year straight than do 10 hours a week for 6 months. One's actually way better because that consistency is like a muscle in your mind. And when you're able to put 10 hours in it, it's going to do a lot better. So let's get in some questions. I want to answer some questions. That is basically how to wholesale part-time, more or less. If you want to learn exactly everything I have to say there, just go to freewholesaling.com. I switched it up for you guys. So I'm getting questions like Luke's, like what's reverse drawing for dollars? Go to freewholesaling.com. I teach it absolutely in there. It's a free real estate wholesaling course. No way to pay me on there. All you got to put in is your email and a password, and you have your own account made for you, so you can track your own progress. That's how you learn it in there. So